Hey guys, welcome to That Game Show, the show that talks about all the stuff in the nerd world and all the stuff in between. My name is Chase Bunker, alongside the half-Asian sensation. It's Curtis Coe.
Hey everybody.
One name to rule them all, it's Murph Murphy.
How's it going, guys?
Player 4, he's back this week. It's Daniel Clegg.
Hello.
How was your not podcasting with your friends event?
Oh, it was good. We had a dinner to go to. It was a family function.
Yes.
It was good.
Awesome.
Cool.
Thank you very much for making us a part of your day. Whether you're watching us on YouTube or listening to us via podcast, thank you very much for making us a part of your day. Gentlemen, how was your week?
I'm back in school now.
Ugh, that sounds awful.
But for something you're way more excited about. So
No, I'm excited about it, but it's quite a challenge going back to school after being not in school for a long time.
Yeah.
But I'm excited, and yeah.
Yeah. Murph, how was your week?
Pretty good. I discovered Nuclear Throne. Or I didn't discover it. I bought it, finally.
Nice.
is that like Game of Thrones, but like sci-fi?
No, not at all. It's
No.
it's a twin-stick shooter by Vlambeer. It's pretty good. Like,
Nice.
it's very unforgiving and just really quick, and you can kind of... I don't know. Vlambeer always makes games that have only the parts that they need and nothing else, and this is just like an example of that. It's an incredibly tight game.
Nice. Clegg?
Cool.
Interesting. My wife and I finally beat Donkey Kong for the Wii U, the Frozen one.
Oh, Tropical Freeze?
Tropical Freeze, thank you. That game, the last boss is was incredibly difficult. It was really, really satisfying.
Nice.
So that took us like 3 nights worth of just banging our head against him. But we got him down,
Nice.
so I feel accomplished.
Yeah.
I felt bad, Clegg, because I was in your area this weekend. It was for my sister's birthday. We surprised her. And I felt bad because I'm like, I could say hi to Clegg, but then I realized I can't because I'm with family. So I at least thought of you a lot while I was with family.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah, and so my mom, I actually talked to my mom, which is kind of funny about it. Like, she said, Chase, I watched your interview. It was really good. I'm like, oh, thanks. I'm glad you liked my interview with James Black, which is on That New Show YouTube channel right now. Plug! And she was like, that's cool. She's like, I also watched your podcast. It made me want to gouge my eyes out, but it looked like you guys had fun making it.
Oh, jeez.
And so, like, I was afraid which episode she was going to watch, because
Which one did she watch?
she didn't watch the one that I was like, oh my gosh, not the Profess My Love to Curtis one. But it was just like, I thought about my intro being, hey, welcome to That Game Show, the show that makes my mom want to gouge her eyes out. But that's my family. They're really supportive of this, no matter how much they hate it.
Yep. Never show your stuff to your family.
Yeah, I never do. They saw my first stand-up special, which I don't call it special because it makes it sound a lot more when it was my first open mic, and it was the raunchiest thing I've ever done. And they watched it, and I think I was 19, I was still living at home, and my parents really busted down my door and just like, what is this crap?
What was that?
The audience loved it. My parents didn't.
Oh, wow.
Well,
Yeah. So,
So,
and then there was a brief period of time where it's like, the kids hide drugs and porn. I hid stand up. Where it's like, where are you going? Out. And I was doing open mics, doing horrible stand up. I know. I was a bad child.
I don't think that's necessarily a bad child.
I
but-
know.
You hid strange things.
I had a lot of strange things, like stand-ups and stand-ups. On that note,
Right.
I was also excited to find out Fahrenheit got remastered, and I called Curtis, and I was extremely excited. And he's like, "Chase, it's 3 a.m. Go to bed."
What?
I mean,
When I called, he was like, "They're remaking Fahrenheit because it's one of my favorite games," and it's like, I'm going off of I hate remakes, and then it was like, oh hey, they're remaking my favorite game. Hypocrite.
Fahrenheit.
Yeah, I love Indigo Prophecy.
It's an interesting game, but it has an issue that I'm not going to say because it happens about halfway through the game.
Yeah.
You know which one I'm talking about.
I think so.
I'm sure you do. but it's
It just gets
entertaining.
weird.
Yeah, it gets weird.
Don't like.
No, it's not.
And the ending's just like a little. The ending's like a little. Oh, by the way, and then like.
I think it's an entertaining game because at the time it came out, I didn't think there was a lot of games like it. Now that like Telltale is kind of doing their thing, which is very similar to what Fahrenheit did, I kind of feel like Telltale maybe did it a little bit better. But it's still definitely, I played it a couple years ago. It was still very entertaining.
My only
Go ahead.
My only issue right now.
Is that the one with a really, really, really great cold open?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
No pun intended. Yes, it is
diner,
a great
right?
cold open.
Yes.
Yes, it has a really, really solid cold open, and then it kind of has some weird moments later on. But I think it's still worth a playthrough.
I only know it by reputation, but
the only
I've seen some YouTube clips. It's
$10.
$10.
$10. The one, I'm excited for it, but I thought like they were gonna do it with like heavy rain graphics, and it literally is just like, they did
money.
That's true, but I'm excited for it. That and Grand Fandango,
cleaned up N64 graphics.
Yeah,
Ooh.
it's.
I just don't like anything graphically from that era. Sorry.
I don't blame you on that
Probably
one.
Xbox quality graphics. Just a little.
It's not a good era.
Yeah, way to sell this game, Curtis.
I'm sorry.
Here's my favorite
it's a good
game. Graphically, it's crap, but it's a fun game. I mean, at the time, I loved it. And I think Heavy Rain perfected it. But I love Quantic Dream with the stuff that they do. But let's get on to the actual show. One of the big things that came out in nerddom, the new Fantastic Four teaser came out, where it showed pretty much the whole new cast. They're much younger. They have new suits, and it looked a lot darker, which I'm happy about. But guys, are you more excited about it now, or are you still indifferent because the last Fantastic Four left a bad taste in your mouth?
That second one.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say that I don't care, because I'm interested. The first Fantastic Four movie was one of the first superhero movies, made in recent times, right? So we're still learning a lot. So that doesn't excuse what they did, but it was bad.
Yeah,
it was bad for sure. But I mean, I want it to be good. I'll go see it for sure, but I don't have high hopes.
Dr. Doom is a blogger.
Yeah.
Is he now?
Why?
And have we confirmed that that's who Dr. Doom is going to be?
Yeah.
He's a blogger.
Or he's like a hacker, I think.
I'm good. I'm done.
I mean, I don't know.
Drop your mic. You're done.
I don't like they're so young. I don't think it makes sense in the context of what we know they're doing. They're like transporting themselves into a different dimension or something. And like two of them, it makes sense. But why are the other two people coming along? Like a baseball guy and somebody else? Do we know even?
I don't care about the whatever. Like, tell me a good story. A blogger is not a villain.
Well, okay. I mean,
I think he's a hacker,
for a villain,
but
I can
either
see
way.
the argument. But for our superhero characters, Peter Parker was a high school student.
Yeah, but nobody feared Peter Parker, a high school student. They feared Spider-Man.
Well,
right.
But the question is, in what context is he going to become Doctor Doom? I guess is the real question.
Well, he's just going to be Doom, though. I believe it's not Doctor Doom. He doesn't rule that area.
Yeah. But they showed a clip of him in this trailer, actually, and there's like electricity shooting off him and stuff like that. And it's like, in what context is he become that?
He samples electricity. He's like, oh, this current is really good.
Well, the theory right now is they get transported into alternate dimension, and like the Human Torch gets teleported basically into lava, and that's why he's a lava person. So his particles mix with lava, and then the Thing does it with a rock, and then someone else with metal.
That's inappropriate.
So I mean,
does it with a rock.
He does it with a rock.
He gets teleported into. And
I really hope that there's a first That Game Show animation, and someone just animates like someone's just doing it with a rock and just like slamming it.
One's water, one's air, one's fire, one's earth. Like they're the classic four elements and all that.
Who's water?
Doom is
Dr. Fantastic.
Mr. Fantastic.
Kind of. I can see.
Okay.
That.
Yeah, it's not the best. Like, why is air invisible? Like, I mean,
and
have force fields.
that can destroy the universe. And
She's an
Yeah,
airbender.
like-
You know what? You know that.
Yeah,
it's like the air.
I mean, I thought like my biggest issue with it is not necessarily like I think it's funny how people like were really pissed off that Michael B. Jordan was Human Torch. It's like, are we really like still back in like the 1930s? But like, I'm excited because I liked him and Miles Teller in that awkward moment, so I was excited to see both them back. My biggest issue is that I literally dealt with the first Fantastic Four movies being with Doctor Doom, and so I thought when I'm getting a reboot, I'm getting a new villain, but instead I'm getting Doctor Doom again.
No, Doctor Doom is a perfectly fine villain.
Yes.
Just not Blogger Doom.
Well, I think we're kind of jumping ahead of the gun here. I mean, we just have no idea. That's, I think, the biggest issue. We just have zero idea what this movie is even about. I mean, the blogger thing could totally work if they did it right. Like, I don't know if you guys ever watched Chronicle.
Yes.
Did you guys ever?
Yeah, I saw Chronicle.
Like,
how okay, give me a scenario where a blogger is menacing and not like a.
Think about the main character of Chronicle. He was kind of a blogger in a way. He was somebody who was basically just recording himself every single day, all the time, right? And he had a really crappy childhood. He had a really crappy home life.
Yeah.
And then over time, he started to evolve into this character that was menacing in his own way, because he would he'd pull teeth out of people's
And then he became the Green Goblin.
And yeah, I mean, at the end of the movie, he was terrifying.
Okay.
He was a
I wouldn't necessarily go like that, but like, we want to know how is he going to get his powers. Like, I guess that's one thing is like we have to see like how he gets his powers. Like, he could be, if he's a blogger, he could be great at like manipulation or something. He's like a manipulation bender from the manipulation universe. I don't know.
I'm going.
He does it with manipulation.
That the only thing that the blogger is going to have to do with is literally that, like the Fantastic Four, he's probably friends with these people for whatever reason, and all 5 of them are transported into this alternate dimension where they get their powers, so on and so forth.
Who knows? I'm going to compare this to the most recent Spider-Man movie. Jamie Foxx plays this really pathetic electrical engineer guy, right? You would never think this guy could be harmful, much less a supervillain. But he does this transformation where he becomes really angry at Spider-Man, and he's a convincing villain at the end of the movie. So it's all about what's the impetus, what's the transformation that causes him to lose his shit.
I mean, like Ender's Game, like his brother Peter.
Spoilers.
Here. It was, I mean, what's his name?
Was he even in that movie?
I didn't see it either.
I didn't see it either.
I saw it, but he wasn't like a main part of the movie at all.
Yeah.
But Peter was his brother's name. Yeah.
Yeah. Why can I not remember the author?
J.K. Rowling. J.K. Rowling.
J.K. Rowling predicted bloggers back in the 70s when she wrote Ender's Game before Harry Potter.
Yep. I mean, it's the same way that Jim Morrison predicted dubstep.
Are you talking about Orson Scott Card? Orson Scott Card.
Orson Scott Card, thank you. Yeah. So So I guess if you've only seen the movie and the book Ender's Game, Ender's brother basically takes over the world and he consolidates his power base by being a blogger. But this was written before really the internet, so
yeah.
Kind of
interesting.
I still think it's funny how Jim Morrison predicted dubstep. Just want to throw that fact out there.
How did he do that?
In an interview, if you listen to the song "Breaking a Sweat" by Skrillex featuring The Doors, yes, I like dubstep. Whatever. Like he actually like has like an interview. Is like I picture music somehow just being like a collaboration of just tapes and sounds, like something along those lines. And it's like,
okay,
he's kind of got a point there. And I just like seeing Clegg's headset like light up bright red when I go, got a little point there. Yeah, it's a long little beat right there. Love it.
All right.
I know. I'm surprised I could hold it for that long too. Speaking of movies, also announced this week, a remake of Ghostbusters with an all-female cast consisting of also Melissa McCarthy, Kristen Wiig, Kate McKinnon, and I forget the other girl's name, but she's Leslie Jones. She's also on Saturday Night Live.
Are those others all confirmed? I thought it was just.
I believe they are.
I believe they are confirmed.
I believe the supposed director confirmed that these 4 people were signed up.
Yeah, and I believe it's also Paul Feig, I believe that's how you pronounce
Yes.
it, is doing it as well, the guy that did Bridesmaids and The Heat. Are you excited? Are you indifferent? Or are you just kind of like, it's another remake? Meh?
I'm not a huge Ghostbusters fan. This cast seems fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what's your guys' take on? I'll tell you my point of view. The idiocy of people saying, one, you can't recast it as females, and two, you're ruining my childhood.
I don't know about ruining my childhood because Michael Bay already did that with Ninja
I-
Turtles. So, I mean, there's only so much you can do.
Oh, that was such a bad move.
I know. Gosh, that was awful.
It was that rat, really. That's what it came down to. But anyway, sorry. It depends on how they do it, and I mean this in the nicest way I can. If they pretend like the old Ghostbusters don't exist, I think that would be a huge disservice to both the new characters and the old characters.
I think they got to get some of the actors in there, whether overtly or covertly. You know, maybe they pull a Stan Lee and they're just in the background.
Yeah.
Or maybe they're handing the torch over. Who knows?
Yeah.
But I think they got to get them in there in some capacity.
Yeah, you do. I just...
I disagree. I don't think we don't like Bill Murray's funny. Like and every movie needs more Bill Murray.
Exactly.
But it's okay if he's not in there. Like all these actresses are, I think, reasonably competent. I've laughed at all of them.
I like Bridesmaids.
I don't think
Yeah.
the actresses need him for acting child support. No, I think the fans are going to demand it. They want
like
to
a
see
cameo.
They want to see a cameo.
All you would need is purely to have Dan Aykroyd and probably, unfortunately, the 4th one, I cannot remember his name, and I know everyone's going to scream when yell.
He died.
He died.
Recently.
Yeah.
Just have, like, basically all you need is Dan Aykroyd. I mean, he's not doing anything right now.
Dan Aykroyd and Bill Murray.
He's writing, but
Bill Murray hates Ghostbusters, so he's not.
he
in
does.
Yeah.
So I mean, but Dan Aykroyd and the gosh, I cannot remember his name. I think it's Ivan. No, that's the director. I'm thinking of the director. They were working
Winston?
on.
Yeah, Ernie Hudson.
They were working.
Yeah.
The Twinkie guy.
At least if there's a Twinkie in the movie, I will be satisfied.
Yeah, like all they have to do is make a reference. And that's
Exactly.
all I-
Reference.
I don't-
They could have. They're teaching these Ghostbusters how to do what they're doing in some facility, and they show videotapes of
Yes.
original actors doing their thing.
Done.
Reference.
Done.
Yeah.
That's
All right, so they're opening their own Ghostbuster franchise
Yeah, who
essentially.
knows?
'Cause-
Whatever.
Yeah, because all right, it's a logical. I don't have the emotional attachment to Ghostbusters that other people seem to have.
Yeah, I'm the same
I'd
way.
be okay with a complete reboot. I'm just not gonna care. Sorry.
Just have female
no,
names
it's-
with the same characters. I mean,
Well,
you
it's
could do
not only that, it's like,
but I don't think people
it's
care that
again-
much.
It's again a reboot. And I think that's the one thing that just upsets me. Is like we're now getting to the point where we're rebooting classics when it's like it almost could taint it. I have no problem with the all-female cast. And I don't know why people have a problem with all-female cast. Granted, I've also made the joke that Wes Anderson should also remake Friday, and I think it'd be hysterical. But it's the fact that it's when it like when are we gonna
Ghostbusters be really good?
Have you guys seen that joke they made on Saturday Night Live where it's like
Sorry.
Wes Anderson remakes
no,
Friday the 13th?
No, it's like Wes Anderson does a horror movie. And it was
movie.
great.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Oh, so funny.
Like the way I picture like Wes Anderson remakes Friday, where he Owen Wilson's like I forget his name, but it's Chris Tucker's character. He just goes like, "Oh damn, oh you got knocked the F out, man." That's all. It's a horrible Owen Wilson impression, but like
yeah,
that's.
why not?
I got the nose for it, so that works at least. That's a good impression. But
Don't worry, you're prettier than Owen Wilson, Chase.
thank you.
Oh,
I try to be pretty, but not as
I don't
pretty as
know.
Luke though.
I guess my only concern is I never personally thought Melissa McCarthy was very funny, but
I think she made Bridesmaids. I will say that because I think it was something like nobody saw it coming.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like, I like her. I just haven't seen that thing that has really made me, like, really like her, I guess is what I'm saying. Like, she was on Saturday Night Live, and I laughed at her there, but I've seen her movies, and I didn't really like them that
She's
much.
funny and she's a good actress. She just tends to get stuck with the roles that make fun of her for her weight, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's being typecast that way. Hopefully they don't go that direction with this movie.
Yeah,
you know?
she's like a
She's
female
good.
Kevin James and Chris Farley. She like they use their weights. Like that's great and all, but like she was great in St. Vincent because of the fact that like she didn't use her weight like at all throughout the entire movie. Like she was actually like she was entertaining to watch, and she's actually like can act when she's not being.
Yeah.
Oh no, I broke something because of my weight, and it's like that's come on.
She is legitimately funny and a good actress.
Yeah.
Without that, she doesn't
Exactly.
So yeah, well, like this is all just like a wait and see. Like
Yeah.
Yep.
like yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited, but I hope it's good. Granted, I hope all movies are good, but
Exactly. I mean, nobody. Well, I mean, I do want to see some bad movies because I need something to watch when I'm drunk. But
exactly.
So
Well, that's what all the '80s horror movies are for.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Or like
about-
Dread. Oh man.
Or Dread.
Judge
I was thinking about that.
Wait, are you talking New Dread or Old Dread?
both Dreads.
I
Both
love the
Dreads.
New Dread.
No, the new Dread is good. I disagree.
No,
New Dread's good.
It's good in a way that's really terrible.
Though my ex-girlfriend kind of ruined it for me when I found out
I
like
like that Dread.
the music when they take the drug in Dread, and the new Dread with Carl Urban, which I love Carl Urban. They take the drug. It's actually Justin Bieber's Baby on like super slow motion, and I was like, no.
Perfect. The movie's terrible.
Oh, man.
I mean, it's not terrible. It's terribly good and terribly bad, and it's this really, it's just the right mix of action and like dumb plot points and
Well, sure, it's a reference to the original, so
yeah, and
the
you know,
story
and
wasn't great to begin with.
I literally lost my shit when he's like, "Mama's not the law. I'm the law."
Exactly.
And I was like, "Oh, that was awesome."
It was even better. It was like Olivia Thirlby was actually really good in that. It's like I like this girl. It's like she's not like this damsel in distress. Like she's a competent person. It's like yeah, she's going through her rookie ways, but it's like she's good.
I thought everyone did a relatively competent job for I think it's also because they knew the first one was so bad that they could.
yeah, like, what are they? They're not like what's the expectation?
Well, yeah.
I mean,
The bar is not terribly high.
Rob Schneider. I mean,
Oh my god, I forgot that Rob Schneider was in that. Oh my
so
God.
bad. He's unwatchable in my.
Come on, he's good in Demolition Man.
He's good in The Animal.
Oh, he is in
I don't know.
Demolition Man, but he's only in that movie for like 10 seconds.
Yeah, I know. I just love Demolition.
He's good in like every 10 seconds of an Adam Sandler movie.
Oh.
Yeah, that's fair. He's good in.
You
small
can do
doses. He's good in small doses. I don't like him in extended movies. Like Deuce Bigelow is like painful to watch.
Oh yeah. All right. Speaking of
anyway.
painful, it's game time.
Oh, great.
All right, I have the game today, and it is called. I was introduced to this brilliant website, thanks to my friend Olivia. The game is called Steakhouse or Gay Bar. I'm going to give you a name of a restaurant, and you got to tell me if it's a steakhouse or a gay bar.
Can it
The-
be both?
God.
And these are actual.
Question.
I mean,
Meat is being served one way or another. He's. And we just lost everybody. All right, these are actual places, and we're going to go in the order that I see it, and the order on my screen, which is how the viewers are going to see it. It's going to start off with Curtis, then Murph, and then Clegg. All right,
Okay.
here we go. Curtis, the
Yes.
Silverado, steakhouse or gay bar?
I guess it's a steakhouse.
Steakhouse. Murph,
I'll go gay bar.
Clegg.
Silverado. That sounds like a gay bar.
The answer is a gay bar. Clegg
Really?
and Murph get a point. I forget where it's from.
Where was it?
I didn't write that part down.
either.
It went
Okay.
away too fast.
I mean,
All right. The Motherlode.
You know what? Just because I think it's weird, I'm gonna say it's a steakhouse.
yeah, like steakhouses have this weird like fetishization of like here's all the you're gonna eat
Size.
like a whole. I think it's a Patton Oswalt bit where he's like you're gonna eat a whole pumpkin and then we'll bring you your steak. So I'm gonna go steakhouse.
Yes, I agree. This place sounds like a steakhouse that has one of those challenges where if you can eat the motherload dish,
Something.
you get it
Yeah.
for free. And the
Mhm.
motherload is like one of every
I'll
type
laugh.
of meat, you know?
I'm gonna laugh if this is gay bar.
Nope, it's a gay bar. Gay bar in Los Angeles, California.
Man, I'm gonna get go into a lot of confusing places.
All right. Halls, steakhouse or gay bar?
Halls. Can you spell it for me?
HALL''S.
Like the throat lozenge.
Just because he said that, I'm gonna say it's a gay bar.
Yeah, I'll just say steakhouse because it seems like a guy named Hall wanted a restaurant.
It's a throat lozenge, which is an innuendo. Gay bar.
The answer is out of Charleston, South Carolina, steakhouse. Murph gets a point.
Right.
We're thinking about this too much.
I don't know.
That's the only way to do this. Okay,
Yeah.
we need some kind
Okay.
of method to the madness.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
JR's. Do you mean to spell that one for you too, Curtis?
Yes.
Capital J, shift R, apostrophe S.
Okay. Just there's no dots in between the J and the R.
Like how you use capital for the J and shift for the R.
Exactly. I typed it out.
I'm gonna go with steakhouse.
Steakhouse.
See, this is more of a kind of a study of Chase, and would he put two steakhouses back to back?
That's the question.
Unless
Because
he's
I-
pulling these off a website.
Yeah, like I don't.
It's-
Yeah. Oh,
It's
maybe not.
randomized, probably.
Yeah, it's randomized.
No, I think this is a study in Chase because there's no JR doesn't mean anything. There's no innuendo there.
Unless there is.
No, I'll go gay bar because why not?
I think the name JR is incredibly boring and therefore was made by a man who is not flamboyant, so it's a steakhouse.
The answer is out of Denver, Colorado, gay bar.
My God.
Murph again with the
I'm really
point.
good at this.
I really wish we should have had Electric Six playing in the background.
Curtis, this isn't working. Our
No.
methods are not.
No,
Points here.
Yeah, what is it?
All
I'll
right.
take you to a gay bar is my go-to for karaoke.
Yes.
It is a great
That's one of mine,
song.
along with I Believe in a Thing Called Love by The Darkness. Just as another bit of the heart. All right. Cherries.
I think this one is actually a steakhouse.
Yeah,
I think
I think this
one
is actually a steakhouse / strip club.
I think I've heard of that place before.
Yeah,
Plague.
There's one in Orlando
That
called
opens up
Rachel's.
a whole nother avenue because it could have an innuendo-ish name and be applied to women because men go to steakhouses. Yeah, we were going to say it's a steakhouse too. Yeah.
Steakhouse.
It is actually a steakhouse.
All right.
Yep. Out of
Where's
Illinois.
that one?
Illinois.
Illinois. Okay.
Yep.
Man,
Huh.
fucking nailing this.
Yeah, you
I know my
are.
steak.
Yeah, you do.
Murph Murphy, steakhouse / gay bar enthusiast.
Look,
No, there's anything wrong with that.
no. No, in college, the people who threw the best parties were
Yeah.
the gay guys because, quite frankly, they knew how to party,
Mhm.
and
They had the best alcohol usually
they had
too.
the best
right?
alcohol. Lots
And
of girls came
All the
because
girls were going to be there. It's true.
Mm.
like college kids
All right.
make some gay friends. They throw really good parties.
That's the message of the day.
Message of the day: befriend a gay person.
Look, man, diversity will help you have a good time in college.
All right.
Yes.
And finally,
I'm all about hey,
Toad Hall.
Toad Hall.
Toad Hall.
It's a me, Toad.
Hello!
Oh God. Just because of that, I think it's a gay bar.
Yeah, the last couple have been steakhouses, so I'm going gay bar. I don't Toad. Yeah, Toad Hall is a gay bar.
It's a gamer gay bar.
That'd be fun.
All right.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
But this will be a clue, but it should be a dead giveaway. It's out of San Francisco, California. It's a gay
It's a
bar.
steakhouse.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody gets a point, but Murph wins. Steakhouse or gay bar.
Did I miss any of those?
No, you didn't.
Oh no.
Wow.
Wait, no, you missed one. You missed one.
Okay.
Motherload, you missed.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's
All
right.
right.
Which I don't blame you,
You
because I was like,
almost-
that's a steakhouse.
All right.
Then I
You
realized
almost swept that.
he
Almost did. You know.
man, Murph, steakhouse gay bar enthusiast.
If you tell me you're going to either one, actually, I'd probably go to a gay bar first. I'm not a big steak fan.
Really?
Just
Do you
for
not
a
like
little bit
America?
of self-love, you know,
I'm
you,
o-
you get complimented a lot.
I'm
You
old.
feel good
So,
about yourself.
like I'm older than you. Well, I'm old. You know, getting up in here, almost 33, guys.
Oh jeez.
Oh, geez.
So like, I'm cutting down on my red meat. I'm ordering like interesting vegetable dishes. Getting old sucks.
And I'm not gonna lie, like I had my first salad, I think, when I turned 25.
Yeah, you gotta.
I barely eat steak, just because one time I ate it and I got super sick for like a week, and I haven't eaten it since because it was super undercooked.
I love steak, and I know this is probably gonna get taken way out of context. Every time usually whenever I go home, like my family likes to make steak, and it's so good.
I agree.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was afraid. Like I was trying to watch what I said because I know that like I've walked into like a few jokes, like literally like just the other day at work, we were deciding like what to do for lunch, and my boss comes up and he's like, "Five Guys?" I was like, "I could do Five Guys," and I paused. It's like, walked right into that one.
Yeah,
Yep.
it happens.
All right. I can't think of a clever segue for this one. All right, now for our main topic. It was a question that I posted on Twitter, and a lot of people responded. By a lot of people, I mean no one. Probably because I didn't word it correctly.
Yeah, Twitter's hard.
Twitter is hard. It's like 140 characters. It's like, how am I supposed to promote a show when I have two links and they're both really long, and then I have to tell all about it? It's like, just watch this.
We'll get into Twitter theory later, but
Yeah.
go on. What was your
Okay, the question is, and I post this guys for you, and I posted it on Twitter, twitter.com/that_game_show. Eventually, we're, like Murph said, we're getting older. We're having kids. One of my friends he's on their second kid right now.
Oh.
I know.
All right, but yes, slow down there, cowboy.
I know. And eventually, our kids will, choose gaming, and they'll be getting into it. At least I'd like to think that they are.
Or they will be forced into it.
Exactly. I mean, one way or another.
You are gonna play Mario Brother.
That's right.
Exactly.
Wii 9000.
On the Xbox 5.
Yep.
Oh no!
No, I'm just kidding. It'll be the PlayStation 7. When they start
Just gonna
gaming,
keep on coming up with new ways to say one, like Xbox Alpha.
I still like the X-Bone. That's my favorite one.
I love that too.
I'll stop derailing.
All right. Would you rather have your kids start gaming at like the early generation, like with the NES, SNES, Sega, etc., or would you have them start at the current gen? Start with something like the Pixels, like work their way up, and see like, hey, this is actually difficult, or do you have them start at the current gen?
No, I don't think you have them start chronologically.
Yeah.
Because just for the sake of what came first and second, I think you go with what is age appropriate, and you include things from both generations, right? Like the original, from before and current, just so they get an appreciation for what it was. But
Did you see the Microsoft presentation last week?
No, I didn't.
Mother effing holograms.
Yeah, that's super cool.
Yeah, my kid is not gonna want to play with a Nintendo when he could have a hologram of Minecraft in the living room.
Your kid's not going to be able to operate a hologram until he's 5 at least, and that's at least 20 years from now.
No, come on. To quote, God, fucking Back to the Future. Oh, you have to use your hands? That's a baby game.
I kind of run both ways on this one, actually, because at the time, when I was a kid, and then my cousins were a kid too. When I was probably about 12, my cousins were 5. They had the current gen, but they would always play the older systems. So, I mean, it kind of just depends on what it is. Would I love my kids to play Super Mario Brothers? Yeah, sure. I mean, I know what's in Super Mario Brothers. I mean, I guess the question is it easier for them to play those older games? Because some of those older games are a little more simplistic. You might be able to start at an earlier age with
easy to understand, easy to control. You put a kid on an Xbox One with a super complex controller with 20 buttons on it, they're not going to understand how to do anything.
Man,
A Super
kid-
Nintendo controller has 3 buttons.
Kids are
You know?
smart.
Yeah, especially
Kids are
like
smart.
they know how to operate iPhones like by the time
My-
they reach 2, and so it's like
That's because that's touchscare. There aren't any buttons on that.
My nephew is like 2 years old, and he knows how to play Tetris on a smartphone.
yeah.
So I mean, like,
Like especially like if I want to get my kid into gaming, like I would want him or her to start with like Mega Man, Super Mario World, and like
are they
Oh,
going to want to play
Gotta keep on
that?
going.
because
Are they
you know
gonna
I
wanna
love
play that?
Mega Man. I mean, you
Mega
guys,
Man is so hard.
Mega Man X.
Yes,
I'll go
it
Mega
is.
Man X. Mega Man X. Let me
It's
preface it.
still hard.
Even Mega Man X, compared to what's currently difficult, like games in this generation are easy.
Oh,
In
yeah.
some-
Well,
I mean, like in some aspects, older, like
Yeah.
kids games are easier. I will say,
Right, I mean,
except
they're-
for like Donkey Kong, like
Mm.
Clegg was
I
talking
think it
about.
runs the gamut. Like there's your Dark Souls. There's I want to be the Boshi. There's the, there's the games that are just intentionally hard. But
Yes.
yeah, but like I mean, Nintendo hard didn't come from Nintendo 64. It came from Nintendo.
Yeah, and also the lack of save functions. So
Well, yeah.
yeah,
Depends on which
Well-
game you're talking about.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's true.
And I think also when I was growing up, in order to go back to the old school kind of thing, like you had to kind of seek it out and go on to like internet sites with ROMs. But
And
now
FAQs and guides.
yeah, but
Uh-huh.
nowadays you have to like it's easy. It's easy to like Nintendo is selling their old games again. Like PlayStation is selling their old games or giving them away.
Mhm.
It's a lot easier to get to have an appreciation for the history just because people are now preserving like game as art. And I think in maybe 10 years, 20 years from now, it'll be easier to play the original Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah,
Then
I mean,
well,
I kind of look at it the
or-
same way I look at the way my dad wanted to show me older movies, and especially like how you want to like show them Star Wars and all like all the Star Trek movies. It's like you want them to at least like learn and get an appreciation for these, and especially like I feel like the SNES games and the I'll go as far as to say 64, but like I'm thinking more like earlier on, preferably.
So
you just develop more
let's say
skill.
your kid's 15 now.
15 now.
Or not 15. I'm sorry. 15 years from now, your kid is 15. Like suddenly, like somebody bursts in the door and like, I have your baby.
Yeah, that requires me being in a relationship and a woman to
No,
find me
like,
attractive.
no.
So
Like,
no.
No time to explain. I'm
Yeah.
pregnant with your baby.
Right.
Do not bring no time to explain into this. That is a good game.
I'm not saying it's a bad game.
15 years later, this is my 15.
Is your 15?
This is my what game from today? Because by then, 15 years from now, they're classic. What game of today do you tell a 15-year-old to play?
Are we talking
Like,
this
damn it,
current
son.
generation?
Yeah. So currently out right now, or maybe in a few months. I don't, whatever. But like, what
I
game do you
assume
say this
they've
is?
been
This is
playing
classic
games
15-year-old
forever
game.
now, right?
Hmm?
Because I
Well,
assume they've been playing forever, not starting video games when they're 15. They should be starting when they're 5, right?
Right, but like that.
Right.
So
Well,
your kid
5.
says,
3.
Dad, what did you play
No.
when you were my age or whatever?
5 or 6.
I started
If
when I
you
was
do it
3.
if you do it any earlier, they can hurt their eyes.
My eyes are
Well,
decent.
okay, so
Who
we're
said that?
assuming he's somewhat competent at games,
Yeah,
right?
Right.
Because
So
been playing
he's
for 10
gone through
years.
Mario. Yeah, he's like, I want to play the games you played when you were
Oh,
just out of college or whatever.
I know what the one's going to be for probably Murph and myself. I know, like, that's just kind of common sense. It's like, hey, try this one. This will whoop your...
It's Dark Souls, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like I would say, hey, you'll feel a sense of accomplishment when you
Yes.
beat this Dark Souls game. But
Right, sure. But for starting off a kid, I don't have a problem setting them up on an older system with easy games. And I would also set them up on newer systems with easy games to get them started. I think
But
there
what
are
would you-
viable options in both.
what is the current generation like? What if you had to give a historical perspective of this current generation, or let's just say the PS3, Xbox 360,
Man.
Wii
That's...
era? What
Wii
would you,
or GameCube, right?
Right.
But-
What would you say is is the standout? Like if you had to pick a game,
Like
give
an,
a kid 15 years
easy,
from now.
an easy starter game.
No, just a
Just
game.
any
like, what
game.
is-
Like
Any game.
son,
yeah, what's
daughter,
the game?
this is what I played 15 years ago
I mean,
before
Dark
your
Souls-
mother and I got it on.
Dark Souls came to mind, but the other one that came to mind almost immediately was Mass Effect 2. But that one's going to be kind of like a joke in 15 years, because choices are going to be, everything's going to be a choice.
Yeah.
I give
15
them
years.
I give them a Blizzard game. I give them probably World of Warcraft or some other MMO.
You
That-
can't really
that's
give them.
huge.
You can't give them World of Warcraft because it's just not there anymore.
Oh yeah,
Unless
right.
it is.
Unless
Unless
it
it
is.
is.
But it's going to be fundamentally changed in
yeah.
15 years if
Yes.
it exists at all.
I would have said
Sure, but not that much unless they make a new one. In which case, it's not the same one.
if you went
Completely-
earlier, I would have
the
said
game I
Banjo
played
Kazooie.
when it started is completely
Banjo-
different than it is now.
Yeah.
But isn't Banjo-Kazooie from the N64?
It's N64. It's like, oh, crap, I can't say that.
Yeah.
I would say for myself, I'm going to name a few, because it's my show, I can beat those rules. Though it is your question, so I'm going to... Yeah,
I'll allow it. It's your show.
thank you. I like how you're like the dupe judge. I'm going to allow this.
I'm going to allow this.
Heavy Rain, because it's my favorite, one of my favorite games of all time. I would have said Call Up Keith and Raheem. That's Curtis and Clegg's sons. Clegg, you're gonna have Raheem. You're just gonna go through like this random phase in life. You're like, Raheem.
Keith?
Yeah,
I would name my child.
I don't know.
Keith?
I don't know.
That would... Okay.
You
I mean,
can't
I mean,
name him
wait,
Chase
wait.
because that would
Not
be too
important.
weird
Keep
for
going.
your.
My last initial is K. Why would I give my son
Objection sustained.
the first initial K?
Well, as long
So
as you
I
don't
will
make
have
it like
you thrown
Keith
out of the
Camden and not like
podcast.
KKK or
Keep
something, then you're fine. K whatever.
Okay. Whew.
But anyways, I'm gonna say call them up, and I think it's because I put in so many hours. Get Payday 2 because like I think the amount of teamwork in that is just phenomenal, and I love that game so much. So I would say Payday, maybe Unreal Tournament, get that Twitch the Twitch thing going. Bastion, I would say Bastion just because like I think it's one of like the few games ever that like I was so emotionally moved by it.
Now, I would definitely say Bastion is a touchstone game just because of the narrator.
Yes.
And maybe 15 years from now that's old hat, but that's something to say, hey, this is historically what set off this movement.
If we were gonna do like just unique games, I mean, I don't know how much you guys have played JRPGs, but I'm playing one right now called Persona 4, and that game.
I heard that's really good.
That game is. I have never played any game like that. It's just incredibly stylish. I hate turn-based RPGs, and I am just sucked into that game. It's Teen Life Simulator with JRPG fights, and you just get sucked into it so quickly because it's just so well written, so well acted, and it's super stylish. So the games that I've noticed that I still can play are the ones that are less realistic graphics. So the less realistic we
Yeah.
get, the
I'd
easier
throw
it
in
is to play.
Any of the Zelda games, just pick one
Yeah.
at random. I know it's a fairly easy answer, but it is an easy answer for a reason. Because
I
it's a
don't
great
I don't
game.
think Zelda games hold up to the test of time.
I'd probably
very
do
well.
Wind Waker,
Wind Waker.
specifically.
Okay.
Wind Waker
Because
does.
stylistically, that one has lasted
Yeah.
10 years and probably will
Okay.
for another 10 years.
I would say Wind Waker or any of the 2D Zeldas will hold up fine.
We also need to. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Joe.
I completely interrupted you. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'll interrupt both of you, and I'll say, I'm struggling between either a Gone Home or a Dear Esther, just because that kind of sparked a genre.
I'll give you that.
maybe I think that's an important genre. I think it's going to grow as time goes on. I think a Binding of Isaac because
The roguelike
Anything-
got popular back like around. Well, they're
Right.
getting popular
Like-
right now. Oh, I'm saying. Oh, back
mean-
around. But like, this isn't actually
Yeah,
15
no,
years.
this is the roguelike renaissance. We are in the middle of a roguelike renaissance, and then maybe also a faster than light. I think also is another game that I put a lot of time into. If I really wanted to like punish my kid, I'd say you will play original Quake because that's what I had when I was a boy.
Why would you do that? That hurts
No,
so
hold on.
much just to look at.
I
I mean, that
grew up-
hurts
Yeah.
to look
I mean, we
at.
have to
No,
also
it's-
think
I
like,
grew-
will these games age well? Because like, I would have
No.
said GoldenEye like a few years ago, and then GoldenEye just like aged horribly.
I mean, Have you seen how ugly Unreal Tournament 2004 is on new graphics?
No,
On
I
high
haven't.
settings? It's awful looking.
Is it really?
Yeah,
Don't
it's
say that. That makes
really
me sad.
bad.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, it's slightly cartoony, so it's okay because they were going for that cartoony. But like, when you look at like the characters that are supposed to be human, they don't look right. They look odd.
there's a reason in the competitive Quake arena scene that they just turn off all textures, all graphics. It's like just white boxes with just things walking around. Well, also because they want that competitive advantage. They can't afford a slowdown because you're loading some textures. But also, it's ugly as sin.
That is also very true.
It's like playing the original Half-Life again.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, that's a.
Hey, but actually,
awesome.
15 years from now, Half-Life 3 might be out.
Oh, no, it'll be announced but not out.
Oh, that's
announced
true.
with no release date.
Are we actually expecting that game will ever come out? I'm not.
It better come out.
I think Valve
After
is making
episode
too much money.
2,
They don't care.
The way it ended, they have to do it.
I know, but
They don't have to do.
had to-
They could just sit back and make their hat money for the rest of eternity.
Exactly.
That's what they have to
That'd be
do.
happy. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, like, how many years has it been since Half-Life 2?
How many? I mean,
I think
since episode
I
2,
think-
2004, so it's been 10 years.
there was a reason. I think relatively recently we passed the point where the time difference between Half-Life 2 and Half-Life 1 has yeah. So the difference between the time whatever
actual
since the last
timeline.
Half-Life release.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I think Half-Life. I don't think Half-Life the game holds up terribly well under the whatever of history, but I think it is a very influential game.
Yeah.
I think it's Half-Life 2 is still actually pretty playable.
Yeah.
But
I think it
I
is.
think that game is not aging well. I think
No,
it's
it's
not gonna. It'll turn to vinegar soon.
yes.
Maybe this was the original question, but none of these we've listed are good games for your 5-year-old, 6-year-old kid who you want to introduce gaming to for the first time, and you want to start them off on the right foot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
I mean,
do you
Portal.
think about that category?
Mega Man.
Portal.
Mega Man
Portal
X.
I think
is a
it's
good
cool.
one. It's pretty simple.
I think
I mean, for like an 8-year-old, maybe.
I think Angry Birds.
Mobile games would be a big category for sure. At least
I
the
know.
current format is touch, right? So
I think Angry Birds has classic gameplay. It's reasonably fun and it's
Imagine
iconic.
You got your 3D visor on, and now Angry Birds is 3D, where you have to actually construct the catapult thing in your room,
You're
like
right.
that Cheeto commercial where you shoot the Cheetos into your father's mouth or whatever, and you shoot the birds into some hole on the other side of the room in your hologram visor only. They're gonna do something.
Yeah.
Or I think you have to like make it like this, and then you just pull, and you launch, and then you just like tap it, and then
Yeah. Well, that's
Could you
interesting.
could you oh
So for our audio listeners, our hosts are forming slingshots with their fingers because in this holographic world, we're all hoping will someday exist.
all right, hold on, I'm gonna hit
You will
Chase.
create your
No,
own game controllers
Oh my god.
with your body
Can you
parts.
can you imagine on the playground if you had the ability to like run around with your visors as a kid and play laser tag?
I
Or like a sword battle?
Hold on. Let's back up. Do we think that's actually a good idea? I think that's actually
an
a bad idea.
amazing idea.
Back
Are
in
you
my
kidding?
day, we had to use our imagination.
I
And
know,
the
but,
thing
like,
called controllers. We didn't have a joystick. Originally, we had a gamepad, and we liked it. We loved it.
Screw you guys.
No, it's
Playing
gonna be
Cowboys
super,
and Indians
super
with your augmented reality goggles is going to be the best thing.
I don't. I think that actually is a bad thing.
No.
I
so
think you're
agree
wrong.
with-
Is basically.
I think it's gonna
That's
be super
fine if you believe that, but I mean, like, somebody's going to have to program that, and it's going to be their version of Cowboys versus Indians versus yours that suddenly have a Jedi and, a raccoon with a machine gun in there or
What are you
something.
talking about? That's going to be paid DLC. You'll ask your mom.
Exactly.
Bucket raccoon skin. You'll be fine.
So either if that happens, so that's a deeper issue.
Yeah.
Where if it's an open, if it's not a walled garden, and then kids can actually start modding things, because
That's
I heard this on a giant bomb, and I'm just going to steal. The reason why so many, a lot of programmers today started out as Quake modders and Half-Life modders and level designers because those were open kind of platforms that you could make stuff for. And the current generation are Skyrim modders and all that. Like,
Right.
that's where you cut your teeth. So
And the young generation are Minecraft creators
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
who will someday grow up into wanting to program more complicated things.
hmm
Right.
Exactly. I think
So-
it's overall a good thing.
I think that's the correct issue. Curtis, you're probably worried about, does this dull our imagination because we're only playing with things other people have made for us? Not
Well-
if it's an open platform and you have the opportunity to do yourself and add to it, right?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I don't know. I already see too many people walking around, and it's a nice day, and they're looking at their phone instead of what kind of day it is,
Yeah.
or where they're walking.
Weather's
or-
boring.
Warm Body's got it right.
Well, yeah, but if you're walking across the street and you're totally looking at your phone instead of the car that's heading to you at 60 miles an hour, well,
Now, see, the cars are all going to be smart by that point.
Exactly.
So
People
they're
are
going
like,
to know.
oh man, isn't it awful that nobody you can have a conversation anymore? That's bullshit. People can have conversations.
Yeah.
People just didn't realize how much
I'm-
fucking free time we just stared at each other blankly.
Yeah.
I'm not arguing that point, but biggest pet peeve ever is when you're talking to somebody and they're doing stuff on their phone.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
oh
it's-
yeah,
it's a-
I'll give you that.
give us a generation and we'll work out the social etiquette.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that's just how it is.
All right, let's go back to the question at hand. I'll give you 3 games. Wife's away, and it's Father-Child Day or Father-Child Weekend. We're gonna
Why can't
play
the
these
wife be there
games.
too?
what?
Why can't the wife be there too?
Yeah.
The wife can. Oh, I'm trying to think of like a
No,
nice
this is-
setting.
this
You know
is-
what? Fine.
yeah.
The wife can be there too. Gosh. Okay.
Just said it.
Family setting.
Family setting. We are going
There
to
you go.
play one of these 3 games. What would they be, Curtis? Any generation. It could be current. It could be
Any generation?
any generation.
And this is with
Well,
our young child.
Yes, like
Yeah.
this is what I
I-
played. This was awesome.
Yeah.
You would love this because
The
you are
first
my
thing that
child
comes
and you
to
like
mind-
the same things that I like.
Oh, no, that's not going to happen at all. My child is only going to hate video games, probably.
Fuck you, Dad.
Yeah.
I'll give you an RTS. RTS is amazing. I would like. I have no son.
No, I would say, okay, you're partly Korean, so that makes sense.
Well, for you, yeah, but for
right,
me, it's
right.
like you could go live with Uncle Curtis. He could do all the RTSs you want.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no one
First
wants
game
my
would
child.
definitely be Donkey Kong Country. 'Cause
Oh,
Yes.
you stole mine.
you can use the same one. Why not?
No,
I,
no,
I think
go ahead.
I think that is a game that is still very playable today. It can be accessed by any age. And it's just fun. I think it's a fun game. Challenging, but not to the point where you're, so frustrated that you want to give up on it. Second one. Now this is where we start running that. Is this game going to be memorable in X amount of years? I really think, just from perspective wise, I think Persona 4 would probably be a game I would show them. Probably not until they're older because it does have a lot of mature themes, and it's only single player. But I think it can relate to a lot of things that people go through in school and stuff like that. And it's just an interesting game, just overall. Maybe not until they're done with high school or something like that. But and third one probably would go with something like this one's a hard one. We'll just go with something like maybe like the old Star Fox or something like that. I think that one's also kind of a maybe the 64 version, kind of a timeless game.
Yeah, the 64 version I think was like the best version.
Yeah. So
Murph.
So for me, what I think. So I would just to give you I'd have a branching perspective across the genre. I think to give the old school a nod, I think I would say, hey guys, let's play a little Super Bomberman.
Ooh,
Because
Ugh.
good
That is
call.
it's
Good
a nice
call.
couch co-op. It's very simple. I think I could still, if the kid's young enough, I could still kick their ass, or I could throw the game and not look like I was throwing it.
No,
You can't
Murph,
control the
assert
outcome.
your dominance. You will beat that child.
no, because if you beat them too many times, they're not going to want to play it.
Exactly.
Be like Adrian Peterson. Beat that child.
Jace,
Football.
It's the same way as when we're playing a game of Nidhogg, right? and you're getting trashed the first round, and then I give you a little bit of leeway on the second game.
Uh-oh. All right, hold
No,
on.
whoa, hold on.
Hold
No,
on.
hold on.
Let me give my second game. My second game, I think I'll appeal to the current gen, which is Sports Friends, which is a fantastic collection of sort of mini games. If you haven't tried them out, amazing. Super Pole Riders.
Wait, Super Pole Rider?
Yeah, it's a kind of a you're two.
It sounds like a stripper
guys.
simulator.
Huh?
It sounds like a stripper simulator.
I mean, you're two long jump enthusiasts, and you're kind of like batting a ball across. I'm not helping. Then I think the third game is whatever Minecraft is 15 years from now, or however the open world build your whatever thing. Like there's going to be a Terraria or a Minecraft or something. Mm-hmm. Something like that. Hey, let's build something together. I think that is always just fun. It's Legos for the next generation.
Exactly.
Two things. One, first off, I like how we make a bigger deal about you naming your son Keith than Clegg naming his son Raheem, considering both him and his wife are both white as snow. Secondly,
It's a cool name.
Sorry.
What?
Sorry for all Raheem listeners out there.
Yeah.
Secondly,
I'm behind you, Raheems. Fuck the haters.
Secondly,
So you'd have to.
Can we agree that we don't see Clegg name his child Raheem though?
yeah,
I agree.
just probably listening to this going, I like Raheem.
Look, seriously, if I have a child, if it's a girl, it'll be Samus. If it's a boy, it'll be Locke. So
All right,
Oh, that's cool.
but the fact that like you're
good names.
You're telling me all of our Nidhogg games, besides the first one.
No. You're misunderstanding what I'm saying. I'm saying
I want to hear Clegg's answer before you guys.
yes.
can
Let's get to
because
Clegg's answer.
we got 2 minutes before 8.
Yes.
Well,
And then we can continue to argue about this later.
It's like we're ending the show at 8. I was just saying.
with Minecraft, Murph, because I think Sandbox is going to continue to be a big field going forward because people just like to build things themselves
Right,
when
yeah.
the tools are made super easy and accessible, right? That's why Minecraft is so successful. But if I had to pick 3 other ones, I think I'd go with Super Mario 3D World. That's that new one that came out, 3D Super Mario. Just really fun, co-op, pretty simple gameplay. Go get the star, jump around. You know, Nintendo makes things fun and easy. Good couch game. So I like that one a lot. And then to go back in time, the first game I can ever remember playing with my cousin was Sonic 2, whichever one had multiplayer. Whichever one that
I think it was Sonic 2,
That
yeah.
was 2.
Yeah.
So
two.
that was the first game I can ever remember playing. And it
But I don't want to trample on your dreams.
well, you know, it's not the easiest game for a 5-year-old, but I just want to do that just for the nostalgia, you know? Fun game you can play together with someone, not terribly difficult. And if one person runs ahead and the other person just close behind, you can kind of carry the kid through. That's all good, right? That's fine. And then the other one, which is again Nintendo doing their just super clean, dumb fun, is Super Smash. Good couch.
Which version?
co-op game. I might go with either Melee or 64, just because there's less visual clutter and they're easier to read for a kid. Probably the newer ones are super graphic and there's
have you looked at
going on. Oh yeah,
they're looked at 64.
They're ugly as hell for sure, but they're
Really
way
still
more
playable.
understandable for a young person, right?
Yeah, I'm not saying go all the way up to the Wii U one, which is impossible to name.
It looks awesome, but it's hard to follow sometimes, and I think a kid would just not know what is going on, right? But Super Smash is just really good couch fun.
Yeah. I'm going to say, for me, Mega Man X, because I remember... I
Give me that controller.
like, Mega Man... Oh, yeah. Eventually, it's going to be one of those, like... It's like, you can't beat... Like, how are you losing a Spark Mandrill? You have everything ahead of you. You just suck. And,
You already have... Use the weakness, you dummy.
Mega Man X, because...
I'm using Armored Armadillo.
Because it was just such a fun game, and I just remember first playing it. It just it changed my life, and that's why I love Mega Man. That's why I think he's a superhero. Do not start this debate now. All my other guests have thought it was a superhero. At least Finger 11 thinks they are. Watch those interviews. Banjo-Kazooie, like just so I can lead into Banjo-Tooie, because I love those games, and
those are your games.
and then finally, I think just because it was a great staple between my father and I. It was a great co-op and also great competitive. Time Splitters 2.
That was a good one.
It was
too.
so much fun.
What, the one with the monkey?
Yes.
Yeah.
And Murph has that look of a lot of bad opinions on this show today.
Whew, Chase, man, we're gonna talk
Time
about
Splitters?
choice of games here.
You didn't like Time Splitters? I thought that was a pretty.
I love
I
Time
don't
Splitters.
like anything PS. I don't think that PS and PS2 era games have aged.
I thought about
in
saying
any way well.
I thought about the Arkham series just to be like, hey, this is how BA Batman is, and like how he went from crap to awesome.
But they're not accessible to a 5-year-old.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, who said that?
Unless he likes Batman.
Unless he likes Batman.
Yeah.
Or she.
Well, the other one I thought of is, this is gonna probably still be around, but Pokemon was the other one I thought. Of.
Yeah, I thought about that too.
But that's just like any RPG, though.
Yeah,
I mean,
I have problems with Pokemon on a game design level, but I will not
But
start that debate.
They
here.
learn how to rock, paper, scissors with element types. It's a very important skill. Water beats fire.
well, yeah, I think it.
I'm
I
going
think
to
it
shut up.
leads.
I'm going
I
to
think
shut up
it's-
right now.
Next episode, Murph hates everything. Find out why.
I just hate Pokemon. Ah.
I think Pokemon is an interesting idea that they haven't done a lot with.
If
but
Twitch can beat every Pokemon, it is not a good game.
didn't Twitch beat some other like super complicated game like Final Fantasy VII or something like that?
I don't. Sure, probably.
Did Twitch do Dark Souls?
Oh my
No.
god.
Somebody did that on a guitar though.
That is
Did they
true.
do it on- I don't know. They that.
Yeah, they beat it. They beat it on a
Someone
guitar.
else. Someone also beat Dark Souls 2 in like 28 minutes. So
God. Ugh. Anyway.
So, real quick, I'm pretty sure I know the answer to this. Did you guys watch the Super Bowl at all?
No, I forgot it was happening.
Did you guys even watch the commercials at all?
wait, what?
I watched the nationwide commercial.
Oh my gosh, that was so a lot of the commercials this year were just so depressing.
So what I have learned through cultural osmosis, because I didn't watch it, I learned about the nationwide depressing ad, and then I learned about Left Shark.
Yes.
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 On the live performance of
Yeah.
Which, if you're Facebook friends with me, you saw me just completely rip apart that halftime performance.
I like that she came out on a Power Ranger, and then I made the joke that kind of fell flat that silly Katy Perry warlocks cannot be night elves.
Okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
But-
there was a
Points for Murph.
commercial with Cranston.
Oh, yeah.
From Breaking Bad.
There was a Breaking Bad commercial. That was cool.
That one
Okay,
was funny.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
I like that
There
one.
was also a funny one with Danny Trejo.
Yes,
Snickers.
that was a
commercial.
good one, and I like the Kickstart
That's
Mountain Dew one.
I heard there's a Clash of Clans one that was
Oh,
funny
Yes,
with
Liam Neeson. That was good.
Yeah.
How much that cost them?
Yeah. There was a lot of
Look, the
mobile
dude-
ad ones, like Game of what was it? Game of Fire or something?
War.
Game of War. That's it. Fire Raid. That's the new thing that came up. But yeah, there's just a buttload of those.
I mean,
Yeah.
all the dads in my office play Clash of Clans. Like, when I
Is
say
that
all the dads, I mean all the dads.
All the dads.
So no, Chase. None of us watched it.
Yeah.
It's the real-time strategy kind of thing where you send armies to go conquer someone else's land. And is that Clash?
Yeah, it's. I joke that it's not a real game. It's a real game. Like there's
Yeah.
stuff there. It's just not.
Fun?
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, no. It's fun for them, so I can't really knock it.
Yeah.
But it's it's your usual free to play nonsense.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay.
But yeah, I was gonna go to this whole anecdote of how I broke my own rule for Super Bowl, but it's whatever. I won't get any. It's not even funny.
All right.
So yeah, that worked out great. I thought we'd talk more about commercials, but nope. I should have known you guys won't even watch it.
Sorry, I went grocery shopping, and then I was confused why no one was at the grocery store. And I was like, oh yeah, it's Super Bowl, because there was a Super Bowl
You were
cake.
there.
Yes.
I made the mistake of going before the Super Bowl to the.
Oh
grocery store.
yeah.
Chase, yeah.
That was my fault.
Yeah. It's. I mean, I still think the Super Bowl might as well be a national holiday because everybody.
Hey, Chase, I have some gaming related news that you might be interested in.
Go on.
So PlayStation Plus, probably best deal in gaming, right?
Yes.
Transistor this month for February.
Yes. That is. I
So-
mean, I still haven't like fully played it yet. Like I started it, and like I
Okay,
immediately
so-
I played like
so you
10
already
minutes
have
of it, and it was so good.
So I was gonna say, if you didn't have it, like you could just buy Transistor, or you could buy PlayStation Plus, get some other free games, whatever.
Yeah.
But then you get Transistor for free.
Yeah, I bought it on Steam
Okay.
because
Good-
I want to give
good
them my
call.
money because
Yeah, that's something that kind of came to me this week. Is like I was going to buy this, I just have this pile of games I need to get through. Transistor's on the list, and then I got it for free, and I was like, crap. I want to support games like this, but now I have it for free.
exactly.
And that's a really big deal because that
Yeah.
was a big title, very popular, and came out just last year. You know?
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
I have a feeling it's gonna be one of those games that
surprised
I'm gonna
it
play
came
it, and I'm gonna be like, why was this not game of the year for us?
Because none of us played it.
Exactly. I feel like it's gonna be one of those games that I'm gonna like highly recommend and just like spam Supergiant and be like, I want you on my show.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I agree.
I didn't know that it was I'm gonna butcher his name, Greg Kasavin's game company,
He's the producer there. I don't think it's his actual game company, is it?
former
I think
GameSpot
it's-
writer.
Yeah, I think he's a producer.
Okay.
Senior producer. for
Look,
it.
if you want to talk to a fucking rock star, and I talked about this on dorknight.com, huh?
Plug.
Blog. The Vlambeer guys. That guy's a goddamn rock star.
Is he?
Because at PAX South, guy rolls in. He didn't know he had a booth for a week or for the first day. Found out he did. Flies in, buys 2 TVs at Best Buy. Doesn't want to bring them back, so just gives them away in his booth.
Wow.
His game is just like, and he's just there talking. He's like, yeah, I didn't really know it's supposed to be here, whatever. And he's European, so he has that weird European accent. And he's just the coolest motherfucker on the floor.
Sorry, all Europeans that are listening to this.
No. Oh, look. Okay. He's a cool guy. I don't know his act. I just know him as Vlambeer because whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah,
All right.
I don't know where I was going with
I
that.
don't know, but this ending kind of just like fell through. But that's okay. You kind of made it a little bit better.
Okay.
All right, cool. That is
Yeah.
it for us
Yeah.
today. Yeah. Thank you all very much for making us a part of your day, whether it be on YouTube or via podcast. Thank you for listening to us. Make sure you I can't talk today. So make sure you subscribe to our podcast over on either Podcast Garden or on iTunes, or also our YouTube channel, youtube.com/thatnewsshow. You can follow me on Twitter at Chase Bunker or the show at @that_game_show. Also, like the
If you want to hear me tweet about the misadventures of Flapjack at Dork Night Show, I've been watching that on Hulu.
it's such a good show.
It's such a good show.
Yes, make sure you also follow. Where's your
I
website
don't-
really?
Yeah, if you don't want to hear about misadventures of Flapjack, you probably shouldn't.
What's the link to what other ways can they listen to Dork Night?
No, just dorknight.com.
Dorknight.com. Awesome.
I don't want to break. I already broken up your flow like irreparably.
It's okay.
Go for it.
I'm okay.
Ow, ow.
It fixed itself. Facebook.com/thatnewsshow. Other than that, I think I hit everything. Curtis, did I hit everything?
Yeah, you hit everything.
Thank you. Good support on that joke. For Curtis Coe, Murph Murphy, and Daniel Clegg, I am Chase Bunker. We will talk to you next week.
Bye.
Bye. Oh,
Bye.
you also get Rogue Legacy.
Ooh, Rogue Legacy, that'd be good.